everyone, I'm back with my next lesson. So today we have our next chapter, which is chapter 8. So chapter 8-1, and this chapter is about conic sections. Okay, what do you mean by conic sections? So let's talk about that. So basically what happens is when I say conic section, so I'm talking about those different geometric structures you can get after intersection of two different shapes. What are those two shapes? So if a cone intersects with a plane, when I say plane, it could be any shape that goes like straight, so it's kind of plain, there's no curve, nothing, it's just a plane. So after an intersection of cone and plane, we get some geometric figures, so those figures are called conic section. I don't know if you remember, I have two cones in my classroom, and those weird cones, you guys always ask about those two cones. So that's what we're going to be learning about today. So yeah, always people used to ask me about those cones, but now is the time to actually use it. But I'm sorry, we're not in the classroom. We can't, but I'll try to actually show you as much as possible, all right? So when I say a cone, so let's say the cone would look something like this, right? Let's just say this is a cone. Okay, so first shape, we have total 4 conic shapes or conic sections. The first conic section is a circle. The second one is an ellipse, ellipse or ellipse, some people call it ellipse. Next one is parabola. And the last one is called hyperbola, hyperbola. All right, what are those 4 sections? So let's try actually discovering those sections on this cone. So let's just pretend this is our cone here. And when I say plane, so basically I'll be actually chopping this cone or dicing or whatever you want to call it. So for the plane, let's just say I have a knife, right? So that edge is just kind of straight, so I would say that's my plane. So if I bring my knife and cut this cone straight, let's say if I bring my knife from 180 degrees, which is all straight. So if I cut it straight like this, what kind of shape you would see? So isn't it? It's going to be a shape like this, which is technically a circle. So that's where you'll see your first conic section. So your plane has to be straight exactly at 180 degrees, and if you chop that cone, so you'll see a circle there. Next one is ellipse. So let's say if you bring your plane or your knife, now it's at slight angle. It's not straight like last one. It's slightly at an angle. So let's say let me pick a different color. If it's slightly an angle, then it would cut this cone like this. So then it's not a circle. Instead, it's going to be kind of stretched circle. It's kind of one-sided circle, which is called, the technical term for that is an ellipse. So this is where ellipse going to be there. Okay, now I still have parabola and hyperbola. So parabola, so let's say you bring your knife from the top, which is, let's say you're bringing it from the top here, and you're trying to chop this cone from the side. If I bring that knife from here, so you know it's going to chop it like this, and other side there's going to be a dotted line here. So basically if you turn this around, this is kind of sideways, right? If you turn it, so basically at the end you'll see a shape like this, which is a parabola. So that's actually the third conic section. How do we get our fourth one? So for that, you have to have 2 cones. So basically, let's say both cones kind of stacking on each other. So that's my first cone. This is the second one, stack on top of each other. So now I would bring my knife all the way straight from the top. So it means, so first it's going to chop this part from the top one, then it's going to chop the bottom one. So as you know from the last shape, if you chop it from straight from 90 degrees from the top, it makes a parabola. So technically what I will see at the end, I'll see 2 parabolas facing opposite, like going in opposite direction. So this shape is nothing else, it's called hyperbola. All right, okay, so that's all about 4 conic shapes, but now we're just gonna pick one and we're just gonna go in detail about every single one. But today's lesson is just about circle, which is our first conic section. So we're going to be learning about how the equation looks like, how do we graph, even though we have done something like this in the last chapter. I hope you remember. But anyways, kind of quick review, nothing bad. So first thing, how do we write equation for a circle? So this is how we write. It's x minus h square plus y minus k square, and it's equal to r square. So this is circle's equation, and this h and k in this equation is nothing else. That's the center point. That's the center of the circle. And this r is on the other side. R is the radius of the circle. Let me show you an example. So let's say I have x minus 2 squared plus y squared, and it's equal to 100. Okay, what's the center point? So basically what you do is you just have to take opposite of the number that goes in parentheses. So this is going to be 2. Since there's nothing attached with y, so I would say it's 0 for that. So the center point is at 2, 0. This is r squared, so what's the radius length? Just take square root of that number, so radius would be 10. Here you go, all set. Let's say if I give you, okay, center point, now we are trying to work backwards. If I give you the center point as 5 and negative 3 and the radius is 9, what would be your equation? How would you write the equation? So pretty much it's just putting these numbers in the equation. So I would say x minus 5 squared. Don't forget, you got to take opposite, y plus 3 square, and radius square, so it would be 81. Here you go. So that's going to be my equation. So trust me, circle is the easiest conic section we have, the easiest one. And the last thing is we're going to be graphing this conic section. How do we graph? How about if I just use the same equation I have up top here? So let's find the center point. So center point, remember, take the opposite. 5 and negative 3. What's the radius? Take square root, it's 9. Once you have that, it's just start off with the center point, which is at 5 and negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 3, which is down here. Now once you plotted the center point, so now you have to go 9 units in all 4 directions. So from this center point, go up 9, down 9, left and right 9. So from here I would go up 9, make sure you count, down 9, right 9, left 9, and once I have all those points at the end, I'll just connect, and that's my circle. Here you go. So that's how we graph circle equations. So pretty much this is all about our first conic section. We still have 3 more to come. That's going to be in the rest of the videos. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.